Welcome everyone to another episode of Konya mo Takamaru. We are finally back with episode 49. It's been a whole year since our last episode. It's pretty crazy.
The first year. Very true.
Yeah. We have a lot to discuss since it's been so long since our last episode, but for the sake of time, we're going to skip everything that happened in between last episode and now. And we're just going to focus on recent things because...
If you want to, you can pretend we talked about it and just be like, oh, this was such a great review of everything.
Pretend we had a lot of insightful comments to say about everything that happened in November and December.
Whoa.
And now we're starting in January.
You know us, you could probably make that story up in your head and it would be exactly like what we thought.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, it's a new year, so it's a new start. Yeah.
No, then we'd be back in episode 1. Let's go with that.
That's like a lot of pressure to do another episode next week or something.
Oh, right.
I don't think we can live up to that pressure.
Well,
anyways, let's get started. Let me introduce you to who we have in the studio today. First off, from everywhere, we have Turbos86.
From 2013!
Very crazy.
Yeah.
Next, we have from almost everywhere, but not so much, Invis.
Woohoo! Expanding!
Yes, almost. Kinda.
Almost.
And then we have recently back from his trip to the motherland, Ouroboros.
Oh, contracting!
Yay.
It's a bit like expanding. But in the other way.
Lastly, we have... No, not lastly. Second to last, we have Bex.
Yahoo!
And, of course, very last, we have Senryo.
I have coupons for Lotteria. Price buy one get one free.
You still have those?
Oh, I got a couple though. So.
Okay.
Then go out and buy one then.
Yeah.
Buy two.
Nah, I'm planning to do that tonight.
That works. On that note, let's move on to some headline news. Cool. That's our 2013 budget right there, by the way. So,
Just on some CG or something.
yeah, we're working on that. But our financial team isn't very good.
We can't afford. Yeah.
Yeah. All our money went to Mizuki and trying to hire that crab for a show. That kind of killed everything.
Expensive crab.
Yeah, I know.
All the money went to getting a chance to talk to Mitsuki about the crabs.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So as you guys are all aware, the 2013 Winter Concerts for Hello Project is going on right now, and we have a whole list of girls who are getting sick with the flu. Knocked out recently, we have Aika. Making her return today, I think, or yesterday. We have Machan, which is good or bad, depending on how you feel about her.
Very good.
Haruka also got hit with the flu, and recently Ayacho and Rinapu also got hit with the flu, but they should be back as of yesterday. So hopefully there won't be any more like berries-wide epidemics this year. Hopefully that's
Berries wipe out?
Yeah, I mean...
It's kind of weird, isn't it? How it's all the really good people have been knocked knocked out by the flu.
Knocked out?
That's hard.
I think he's been knocked out.
As in knocked out of the events by the flu.
Yeah, but
Because
somebody
Aika's
thought
up.
you said knocked up, which is completely different context.
No, not knocked up, knocked out.
Everybody
Right.
get your bingo cards because, you know, if certain people get knocked out from here, you win a
Bingo
free
card.
coupon from Sanrio, apparently.
Sure. Lotteria coupons. You gotta
Lotteria
come pick it
coupons.
up.
Only redeemable at Lotteria.
Of course. This show is not sponsored by Lotteria, by the way.
We should work on a sponsorship though.
I will do that. I will ask the cashier today.
Okay.
When I go there for Friday.
See if you can get us some Lotteria t-shirts.
Sure. You want a chocolate cake too?
Yes.
I will get you
You know,
that.
worst case scenario, we can always try to get the Hello Project US stuff. Oh, that doesn't really exist.
Oh.
What?
Aw.
Right, let's
Anyway,
move on.
more news.
So we have earlier this week the announcement of the Morning Musume Help Me release event campaign where they plan to visit all 47 prefectures,
Woo!
which is probably not going to happen, but who knows. They've already started. as of this past week, they covered about 4 locations.
I think five.
Starting 5 locations, mostly starting in south of Japan, and they'll slowly move their way up to north of Japan. Pretty cool that on this trip they will hit Hokkaido, which is a place that hasn't gotten a lot of attention from Hello Project in the recent years.
Despite taking people from there and
a lot of people. from there. But yeah, now they have Machan, they have, I guess, more of a reason.
Oh, but they're not even doing it based on location, right? Sayu complained about that. Just like, they're going to the area that I live in, and then they sent me to the other place. So
it's kind of weird how they chose the teams. I don't really get the distributions myself, but who knows?
They
It's
probably just a
bingo.
box.
yeah.
Probably cheaper.
And speaking of Sayu, which is not really related, but it's a
Sayu.
transition. We had the coming of age ceremony this year, and unfortunately, it snowed really hard for all the girls involved. So, for first things, they had to dress up in their kimono as usual and go all the way out to the ceremony. But they had to travel through. How much snow fell that day?
A lot.
A lot.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, a lot.
if you-
Science!
Well, it was close to the point where I was planning to go out to a nearby shrine just to see people in kimono or something like that. But it was snowing so hard, I'm sure I wasn't able to walk too far.
Right. So,
Yeah.
it was pretty heavy, and so it sucks for everyone involved. People who celebrated the coming of age ceremony of note this year were Aika, Masa,
Yay.
Mia,
Yay.
and Chinami.
Tsunami.
And also related to the coming of age ceremony, we have, if you are in Japan and you are around your teenage years, 18, 19, 20, you will know that this weekend is really important because this is the university entrance exam weekend. And so Heidi first brought this up on her blog about a week ago, saying that a lot of people who comment on her blog posts were saying that they were studying for entrance exams coming up. Is that a hint maybe she's preparing? I don't know, probably not since she's at a show today, so we'll see what happens.
She's got it down pat, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, she doesn't need to
Studying.
revise.
Prepping is for noobs.
Right. And Kanon, Fukuda Kanon from Smile Age also mentioned on her blog that a lot of people had mentioned that they were they were studying for the entrance exam this week as well. Could that also be a sign that she's going to?
So going to Waseda.
Very possible. I could totally see that.
5 names mileage.
That would be cool.
Oh no.
Oh.
But she would take over as the president of the Waseda Hello Project Club,
Oh man.
which I would be totally okay with. I would have to transfer there myself. And lastly, we had Momo on her blog yesterday talk about how she wishes everyone the best of luck, and she posted a picture that will inspire everyone to pass
Yes,
their
she
entrance
should.
exams.
Okay, sure. She should study for her own.
She,
Yeah. Is this a sign that she's getting kicked out from school?
yeah, did she pass her last semester? Probably not, but we'll see.
Maybe she's redoing an entrance exam. Hold on.
As far as I know, every semester she's been borderline passing, so we'll see what happens this time.
Skills.
So, with that, let's move on to our main discussion topics of the day.
Yeah.
Something we have not done in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
The podcast itself. We haven't
That,
done it
well,
for a
that,
while.
that too. First up, we have a very good interview with Natsu Mayumi Sensei, the former dance choreographer of Morning Musume and formerly of AKB. This interview came from the Nikkei website on January 17th. Really interesting. If you haven't had a chance to see it, we suggest you check it out. We'll probably link it. If one of you guys want to link it in the chat right now, and also we'll post it maybe in the description.
No, let's just read the URL.
Let's not. Unless you want to read it.
Okay. It's trendy.nikkei.co.jp/article/column/
That's not very cool.
Wait, no, sorry. Let me redo the numbers.
Wow.
2012, 12, 21.
If you click on the
and-
link in the screen, it's at the bottom of the page right now.
Of course, if you
That's
want to just
space
be an
bomb.
irritating, pain in
I'm
the butt,
pointing
then
below
you're
me
welcome
right
to
now,
pause
you can
this, rewind, re-listen to this.
Yeah, if you check out our
I'm not-
webcam, we're all pointing down right now at the bottom of the screen. Just click on
Yeah.
that link.
Well, I didn't finish reading it, so too bad for whoever was actually trying it.
Yes. Also, you can set your phone to the QR code that we're also pointing to on screen.
One of these days, we're gonna afford a camera in the studio.
We're
Yeah, so
working
right
on
now-
that.
We're just drawing the QR code by our hand.
Wow.
We're just using visualization techniques
Yes.
rather than a video camera.
Right. So, let's get out to the main gist of this article. The article itself covered, in general, how does Natsu Sensei work her magic for all the major idol groups that she's worked with? How does she get people who can't dance to dance? How does she work with these big-time idol groups? And what's the secret? What's the magic behind the work that she does? And I think the most important thing, which we're going to focus on for this particular interview, is the a small bit where the interviewer asks her, "So, you have worked so far, most notably with Morning Musume and with AKB, and as I'm sure you're all familiar with, in those types of groups, the person who gets the center position of the group is not always necessarily the person who is the best singer or the best dancer." And I know, but Natsu Sensei does agree with this, and this does kind of fall in line with what we've seen over the past years from, everything coming out of Momosu and AKB. Now, how does she deal with something like this? Because as one can imagine, when you have this sort of discrepancy in the best of the best not necessarily getting the center position, it can cause tensions within the groups, among the members who feel some things might be unfair and whatnot. So, as a result of this, Natsu Sensei kind of drops some hidden secrets that she uses when she deals with these kind of groups. And she says, her thing is she wants to make sure she gets everyone working as a team. That's her number one priority. And the thing to do that is, you have to get everyone on the same page. So that means working with whoever is the ace of the group, and working with whoever is basically everyone else. And you have to get some way to get both of those people content to the point where they're willing to work together for the success of the group. And what that comes down to is, when she is working with these big name idol groups, whoever is designated the ace of the group, she will, for example, at a dance rehearsal or some sort of lesson, she'll pull to the side and she'll say in a low voice, "Okay, you're the center. You know that, right? This is your group to lead. You have to pull the weight here, and you have to show leadership for the rest of this group. They are counting on you, So she, for the ace, builds up her ego, builds up, the responsibility lies on her to take care of everything and to basically give it her 100% for everything. Now, for basically everyone who's not the center, she goes to them when the person who is the ace is not around, and she says that basically the person, whoever is the center, they only exist because of your work. Without you guys, she would not be able to be the center position. So she inflates their egos by making them seem like they are the ones, carrying the bulk of the work for this group. And it kind of just goes back and forth, and eventually both groups, the ace and the rest of the group, are led to believe that they have a very significant role, and that hopefully that motivates both sides to work for the greater good of the entire group. And so in reaction to that, the interviewer says, that's pretty amazing. So how does that actually work? And so if we look at Natsu Sensei most famously has worked with Morning Musume, that's at least how we know her. Let me throw this to you guys. Do you think you've seen this system implemented at all for Morning Musume?
I don't see it happening, but it makes total perfect sense that if she did, because it's such a good system or such a good way to handle a group like that. If she knows such a technique, I would not see a reason for her not to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I mean, you don't think it's in place right now?
It probably is. I'm saying I can't see evidence or hints that she's used it, but I can't see evidence that she did. But if for my thinking is just that if someone knows such a technique, she'll be using it in wherever she is.
Right.
So it makes perfect sense, and
Right.
I think it's a very nice system.
She
She is
works
pro.
Yeah, she is
So pro.
That's why she's so famous. Any other thoughts?
I think it's a very, very good way to get a large group to all feel special, rather than, because whenever you watch a group live, a lot of people focus on the center and ignore everybody else.
Right.
And I suppose that could get people down a bit because they know they're not the focus of the attention.
Right.
But yeah, being told that they are, that person wouldn't be there if you guys couldn't keep her there, means that, without you lot, it all fails. Right. It is a really, really good way of bolstering everyone, even the worst member of the group, of getting their ego up there and keeping them positive.
Yeah,
Right.
basically it's a system that promotes separation, but yet she's using it to create teamwork. And at the same time, it's even better because the things that she said to the members, they would not say it to the ace, or the ace would not say it to the other people. Like the ace is not going to say like, "Oh, Natsu Sensei told me that I'm pulling the weight, so you guys, suckers." Or like the other ones are not going to be like, "Well, you are nothing without us, so sucker." No,
But it's kind of weird though.
They don't say that. So
It is weird though, because every time I've seen Natsu Sensei on any of the shows, all she's doing is shouting at everybody. You never see her being positive. She's always like, "You're rubbish, get out."
but at the same time, I think that makes it even more effective. Is because that the girls are so used to her coming up, just being angry or being strict. So when she says something like that, it's much more encouraging than usual. If she's always going around like, "Man, that's good. By the way, you're pulling all the weight," it's just she's saying the same thing as usual. But if she's like, "Well, you know what, you suck over there. You gotta dance more. You gotta practice more. But you are pulling the weight, so you gotta do it. High five." I think it's way more effective than if she is just being encouraging all the time. Plus, it was probably just for camera too.
So, the part that's about to blow away all your minds right now.
Uh-oh.
Yes, the blow. Is at the very end of this interview, she finishes off. Actually, the interviewer brings up the point that you guys just mentioned. Natsu Sensei is known for being a very scary, very strict teacher. Whenever she's on TV, she's always yelling at someone. And this guy wants to know if that's the legit Natsu Sensei, how she actually works. And if so, how does that work out if she's always so mean? According to Natsu Sensei, that is just all the magics of media editing. She's actually very nice, or she says she's actually very nice, and she only works by using compliments on her students.
Oh.
Bald-faced lie.
And, well, according to her, she said that there are some times where she has to be strict, and basically those parts are isolated, and only those parts make it to TV, which is what everyone wants to see anyways, because of all the drama. But most of the time, she says she rather works in a fully positive environment.
That's nice.
Bald-faced lie.
So,
I don't know. I buy her when she says something like that.
No, I buy that on a 1-to-1 scale. She's probably very nice. But when you have a whole group of people and you need to match efficiency, I imagine, especially based on how the culture works, where everybody needs to be in line, that you resort to yelling a lot.
I think that the resort of yelling is for amateurs, because I've seen that done by amateur teachers. But yeah, it's nice if she says that she tries to be nice. And it's true. It's media editing. it is true that every single second we see on camera, she is always angry. But funny thing though is that when she says, that's the editing of the media, but at the same time, this thing that she just said is being published on the media and didn't get edited out.
Yeah.
So, irony, but nice in your face. Yeah.
So who knows how she actually is, but let's get
She needs a handshake event.
Would you go to her handshake event?
If it's free, yeah.
If it's free. Oh, there's your
so
answer right
I
there.
know. Wow. Let's go to some of the fan reactions to this interview after they read it. The first reaction is that basically telling Natsu sensei, you're just a dance teacher, this is beyond your scope of your job, don't try to mess with the dynamics of the group like this.
Well,
That's pretty harsh for talking to Natsu sensei like that.
I disagree completely.
What do you think? I mean, okay, so officially she's just the dance teacher.
Isn't she a choreographer as well? Doesn't she write any of the choreography for the dances?
Not for every dance, but for some of the dances. I would
So-
imagine she's probably more of like a consultant position rather than the main choreographer.
Right. I would say that for for anyone who is teaching the girls anything, they have at least some responsibility on, bringing the girls, building them up as idols or just as entertainers in general. Especially for girls at such a young age, like for Haruka or Machan, if you are the dance teacher, you would be facing them, many hours per day probably, and just for anyone to interact with young girls at at such an age, I think they should have the responsibility to, to build them up. I guess that would be an appropriate phrase. But on the other hand, if it is true as the person says that it's just a dance teacher, you don't do all those crap. In that case, what he is saying is that you can hire someone who is great at dancing, but is terrible in terms of personality, or even just managing young girls. And I don't think that's true. I think they're both just as important. Also, it's important if you want a student to listen to you too. So
That's very
guy,
true.
yeah, this guy is probably jobless.
Given that he posts on Nichan, that's very likely. He probably is jobless, actually.
Sitting in his dark room.
Yeah, something like that.
I hope he's
Well,
not.
I'd say they probably see Natsu Sensei a lot more than Tsunku anyway, so.
That's probably true too.
That's very true.
Yeah, probably Natsu Sensei, whoever teaches music. I think those two, they're great influences on the girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a comment you want to get in?
Yeah, it was just, in general, when you're talking about that kind of thing, I mean, you're talking about instilling a mindset on them, so it's not just about dance anyway. I mean, one of the major things about this is teaching people to kind of find their own motivation in that sense, because when you're not the ace, then you don't have that drive to be number one if you feel like, okay, this person is the ace, let them be the ace. So it works with the way that, their mindset is. You try to make sure everybody feels important, but you're working together, which is very kind of old Japanese culture, so it makes sense. Works.
Very cool. Any last thoughts on this particular comment? No. Okay.
Can't die.
Yeah. He probably doesn't know the history that Natsu Sensei has, but that's okay. Next couple of comments we have are actually very complimentary of this particular style of approach towards the groups, and they have high praise in saying this is very similar to the sports philosophy that a lot of teams use to manage the professional sports teams across the world, and especially in teams that have like a very large superstar or ace ego you have to manage. You kind of have to balance that along with the rest of the team, and I mean, without it, when you have sort of tensions between the star player and the rest of the team, they generally don't lead to championships. So you have to figure out some way of just balancing out everything.
Give
and
the ball to LeBron.
Kobe Bryant
like
dunks
that.
and he scores. What?
That's exactly how it happens, and that's why the Lakers are not doing so hot right now.
Anyways.
Sports!
Yes.
Wow, this is our first sports talk on Konya Matakamoyo.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Lakers season right now. Why are they under 500? This is pretty bad.
Because I'm not in the lineup, obviously.
That's true.
They don't have that sensei.
They don't. They need Natsu sensei. That's true. That's what they need.
Oh man.
They need her to
And-
tell Kobe to pass the ball.
They
Stop
need
playing
to
hero
dance.
ball. All right. So I mean, does this make sense to you guys? Like, can you see this parallel to the sports psychology, sports philosophy, or is it kind of like a different field and it's not really comparable?
General sense, it makes sense. There's fair comparison
Okay.
to say that the two matches up. Well, not all teams, not all sports teams has like one major ace or one star player, but then a lot of teams, the professional level teams do have these kind of situations. I mean, same for in the idol industry, how as one girl or guy is the face of the group,
Right.
how everything the rest is on their shoulders. It makes sense. So I guess
It might be even worse in a sports setting where you have like multiple stars per team, and then you have to balance like 2 or 3 people with
Oh,
a
right,
very
yeah.
large ego, and then the bench who just kind of like doesn't do anything anyway, so who cares?
Oh,
But yeah,
but they
it's-
get
so
paid.
maybe they should try it. I don't know.
I think it. Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. In sports team, in idol groups, or basically anything with a leadership. Leadership. Oh, a leadership.
Sheep.
Leadership. I don't know. why.
A leader sheep.
Yeah. If there's a leadership, I don't think this works. But if there is leadership, for example, even just a group in school, like if there's a group of 5 and a teacher comes over and just assigns a random student, all right, you will be the leader for this particular project. Using this mindset, I think it would run very well in just even something spontaneous like that. But for sheep, though, I don't think that works.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Don't try sheep.
Yeah. Also, these 2 people that commented, they probably have jobs.
Yeah. Or they watch a lot of
No,
sports.
they watch a lot of sports. Yeah.
Or they're
Have
coach. They
Yeah.
coach themselves.
They could be coaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be Phil Jackson.
Phil
Ooh.
Jackson typing in Japanese.
Yeah. He follows Morning Musume.
Oh, Google Translate, right?
Yeah. It could happen.
You should listen to our podcast too. So if you're listening to the podcast right now, let us know.
Yeah, hire me for your office space. I'm willing to work with the Lakers. Last comment that was kind of interesting for this particular interview is that one of the Otas was saying, well, now that Natsu Sensei, you've made this all public, and you said you've used this technique for the groups that you manage, one of them being Morning Musume, and you currently still do some work with Morning Musume. Is this still going to work? Because if they read this article, or if news spreads to them, they're going to know, and they're going to be like, hey, everything you told me was just a lie. What's up with that?
Of course it's gonna work because she yells at them. Oh right, that's not true. Oh okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No, she's nice. That's
No,
just
yeah,
that's
okay,
just media.
okay. Right. Right.
Well, I mean, really, how much
this-
ego do you have to take everything that she says and be like, oh, that's so true. I'm the best. Like, you have a foot up your butt to think that that's 100% true.
You should ask Miki that and see what she says.
I would, but
Yeah,
you know,
she's
she's got her
strong.
kid, and I don't want her to stick her foot up my butt.
You don't?
Huh.
It sounds painful. I'm sorry.
That's one of us then.
She's great. I just think that would hurt more than anything else.
Right. So, anyways, that's kind of one of the things going on right now. If you have any thoughts on kind of the system of managing the aces within a group, please feel to drop us a comment anywhere where you can find this podcast. Any final comments before we move on to the next topic?
Well, I think this is just making it out of a big deal since it's traditional Japanese mindset to be more conservative about and know your own role within society, and as in society, as in work that you do or your work environment, your in this case office environment or group environment, you know what your role is. You know who's on top of you, who's your kohai, who's your senpai, and all that stuff, and who's the star, and if you are or if you're not, everybody knows their place. So I don't think this is a big something that to worry about, because it's not like some random no-name girl in a group is suddenly come out and say, oh, they're always giving lines to that girl. I know she's popular, blah blah blah, but it's so unfair that nobody's gonna come out and suddenly do that. So
Well, that's true.
yeah.
But I mean, like, so that might be the extreme of the situation. But like, even though people may know their place, I'm sure they'll complain about like Sayu. She does this jokingly, which is the way why I think she can get away with it. But she's always like, I don't get any lines, you know.
But then Sayu's also in the position that she can say those kind of things without getting in too much trouble.
Right. That's why I
She's-
think she can get away with it. But I mean, I think that there's, deep down, there's still some part that's she's actually complaining.
Well, of course, but then there's nothing she can do about it. All she can do is whine.
It's kind of a privilege she's earned after so many years of, I would assume,
Service.
trying to be better and, not necessarily getting more parts. So it's kind of the compensation for it. It's like, sorry, you don't get more lines, but now you've
can
tried.
complain about it.
We can at least complain about it a little bit, make jokes, be fun.
So I mean, like, would this not work on Sayu? I mean, would she not? Well, okay, I guess now she's too much of a veteran for this to have any effect. But
Yeah.
say, 6 or 7 years ago, she wasn't getting anything. Reina was getting everything. Well, she still
Mhm.
is, but I mean, with this, although there were no signs that she was complaining or anything at the time, we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. Would this kind of thing be useful, or do we not even have to worry about this?
I think this kind of things only works on younger girls or girls who hasn't been in the business for too long. The girls with more experience, they would just get it. They understand. So
Okay.
I don't think you have to say this kind of things to them unless they're KY.
Yeah, the best part.
We
the
know
best
that
part
there's a
about-
lot of those.
Yeah, the best part about what Natsu Sensei says to the girls who are not the A's, she says like, the A's can only happen because of you guys supporting them. It's so vague that it's perfect. Because it's so vague, it would just let the girls build in their imagination, and they would start thinking, oh right, if I don't do my part, she can't be whatever she is. And then they would start thinking about, oh wait, what's my part? Oh, it's just this. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I do my part, and it helps the whole group. If it gets into too much detail, it would not be as effective because it's so vague. It works, but at the same time, because it's so vague, it will only work with the amateurs of the entertainment industry. That's what I think. And she,
Didn't we just have a whole conversation about how this works with sports teams too?
right, and sheeps, and
Sport
not
teams
toys.
are only ego anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and money.
Right.
Anyway,
So,
enough of the sport.
yeah, if you feel like you want to continue this conversation with us, start a topic on our forum, because we have one, and you should check it out
Yeah.
sometime.
That's a line.
Yeah.
Yeah, we let you do almost anything on that thing.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Let's move on to our next topic. We have some school-related issues with a couple of the younger girls of Morning Musume.
No.
I just realized this episode is, again, going to be heavily Momusu-centric. So for you
Oh.
guys who think we should talk about the other groups, shut up. We'll talk about them next week.
Next
Go
time.
listen.
Tell them to
Zen
make
Roar.
more newsworthy things, and we'll talk about them.
Yeah. Anyways,
Other than getting sick.
other than getting sick, right? First off, we have an issue of Top Yell magazine. An interview with all of Morning Musume. One part highlights Kudu specifically.
Kudu.
In this part, Kudu was doing an interview with Machan and Fukuda Kanyon. Kanyon was asking questions about all the different things of what's it like getting used to now being a Morning Musume, all that, and how is it like being a new member, blah blah blah. And so Kanyon starts to ask questions about school, like have anything changed? Say, do people recognize her now? Do they treat her differently? Kudu brings up this one story where, so she's in middle school right now, and one of the guys in her class brought her photo book to school when it came out.
Preferred.
I know. and so
Going to be.
yeah, and she saw that and she was like, I was so embarrassed. I just wanted to die at that moment. And
Die, just kill that guy.
yeah, right. And of course, all the fans had a field day with this thread when they read this part of the interview, and they're like, "Man, that guy is totally a Haruka fan. He's totally gonna try to ask her out or something. Watch out for this." There's no reason why he would bring a Haruka photo book to school if he's not trying to, do something.
Kid's like 13, he's already acting like a 50-year-old.
That's another thing they mentioned. There's like, this guy is 13 and he already has a photo book. Isn't that a bit too young? What the heck is going on here?
That is his passive-aggressive way of saying that, I like Haruka.
I like
but,
you.
I
buy your
can-
photo
I
book.
buy your photo
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, that's his only way to get attention is to buy a photo.
No,
Or
I've got a feeling
maybe
he probably
that is-
stole it from his dad.
I found this at my house for some reason. Look.
Look, it's you!
Yeah, my dad was looking at this last night. I had no idea why, so...
For some reason, this page is particularly,
Sticky.
tacky.
Yeah,
I
don't go
know.
there. That's,
Wow,
no, don't go
stop,
there. Don't go there.
Stop.
That's too much. But I mean, like, what do you guys think about this? Like, do you think this kind of thing happens a lot, and most people just don't bring it up? Because I can imagine if anyone would, it would be Haruka who would share this type of story.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
expect it would happen, yes.
What do you think her response to this should be?
Traffic. I think I'm muting the microphone. I think basically she should suck it up because she wants to be an idol. She has to take the rough with the smooth.
Very fair.
It's something she
Probably
wants to
shouldn't
do.
have mentioned it at all then. Probably would have been better that way.
Well, the thing is that I think she mentioned it just because it makes an entertaining
I mean, it's kind of funny.
topic. Yeah. But I mean, of course, for Kudu, she's like the youngest one of the lot, so it is kind of surprising for her to have that happen to her. I'm sure.
She's
Yeah,
kind of like the awkward age right now, where that, like, if it happens with Fuku-chan or Ikubo, that's like, oh, okay, well, I mean, they're up there in age anyways. That's kind of...
No, it'll make the guy holding the photo book more weird. If it's if they're in if there's a classmate kind of situation.
Right.
But for Kudu, she's 13, then the guys must be like 13 as well. So it's just some immature kid running around with a photo book. But if it's
Well, I mean,
say
that's the
Fuku-
thing.
yeah,
Right.
well, if it's Fuku-chan, right? Then there's a 16-year-old guy running
Yeah,
around
that's
high
totally
school with a
different
photo
context.
book.
Right.
Hello, pervert.
But
But
at
that's
the same time,
essentially what we're dealing with. We're dealing with that where the age difference lies. Because I mean, at 13, you're still innocent enough. I mean, I can't say for Japan because I have no idea. But at 13, you can still be innocent enough to say, "Hey, look, this is my classmate on the front of a book. I'm gonna buy it," and then be like, "Look, I found your book."
And then you'll be
Without-
like,
yeah.
whoa!
But
Whoa,
no,
you're
I didn't know
naked.
that.
I can tell you, kids in Japan at that age, no, they're not innocent enough anymore. They would be running around and then be joking about a lot of things that are not appropriate.
Because they can get away
I
with
can
it
see
at
that.
that age.
Yeah, they can get away with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still an immaturity.
But at the same time,
you know.
what we mentioned something very important is that Fuku-chan needs her photo book.
That's
So,
the
classmate
most
can
important
run around
point
with it.
to get out of this discussion. Fuku-chan needs a photo
Yeah.
book.
But I was thinking that if I was in the class, if I was the teacher, I would confiscate that photo book.
Wow.
I mean,
Go have
you are
violence.
not supposed to bring these things to school, and this is kind of bullying. So I'm going to keep this.
And if you're a
So-
student of Sunreal here and you want to get him a present, just pretend to bring a photo book to school so that he can take
Yeah.
it away from.
Wait, so
Right,
you're
well,
saying
but
Haruka's
also,
inappropriate for school? That's not
No,
right.
no, she is totally appropriate for my school.
But you're saying her
Uh,
her book's content is inappropriate. So you're
Well,
not making sense.
No,
That-
well,
that-
because I don't think those stuff you're supposed to bring to school at all. Are you? Like it's kind of like bringing toys or just magazines.
Maybe it's
or
for show and tell.
Wow.
But that is a lot to show. So okay, I let you. Yeah, I take that one. Show and
Okay.
tell.
Okay, let's move on to another girl who has some school problems. The newest member of Morning Musume, Oda Sakura. So you may have noticed, or remember, I think we talked about it somewhere, that on Twitter, Sunku officially announced Sakura's nickname as Sakura Kyo.
How do you even pronounce that?
I don't know, but as we all know by now, with Yashi and previous,
Yes. Yes. Seriously.
he's not the best person when it comes to nicknames. So, also, as you know, every year Morning Musume does a collaboration with BLT for T-shirts, and they also produce little mini magazine MOOC kind of thing. And in this year's interview with Oda Sakura, she had a special message to Sunku at the bottom of her interview, and it said, to Sunku, if possible, could you please change my nickname from Sakura Kyo to anything else? Because the people at school are picking on me for that nickname. And it's like one of those cries for help that Sunku's not going to care about because he doesn't read it. But
So true.
She should
Plus, it's
tweet
too
it.
late
as-
already anyway.
also, yes, that's too late.
Yes. Like.
She
That
needs
has been
to make a
passed.
Twitter account and then tweet to Sunku. And then Sunku would read it.
That's true. He does respond to a lot of tweets that are being thrown at him. So that's probably the best way to get his attention.
Or if you're
What's
a
up, the
Sakura
fans?
fan, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do it
If you're
for
a
her.
fan, go right ahead.
All one fan out there.
The one guy's
Yeah.
going, hey!
That's an idea.
Yeah. So if you are a fan, please do tweet it because apparently she's having a rough time in school.
But what does Sakura Kyo mean, if anything?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I-
I don't know how she's being made fun of.
He
I-
probably
yeah,
no.
I-
Well, the name they're just calling her by that name instead of her actual name.
Well, then changing to any other nickname doesn't help because they would just start calling her other names.
Well, other nicknames could be cuter, or if she just left
I-
it at Sakura, then you can't really make fun of that.
Right, but at the same time, I feel like she's just getting picked on. Like the end, she's just getting picked on.
She's
Not
just-
really by the name, she's just getting picked on.
That
Because
makes
of-
more sense, to be honest.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, because that she is in Morning Musume. Yeah, she's someone famous, quote unquote.
Right.
What?
right.
So it's like, haha, you're Morning Musume.
It's like, haha, you're famous and you make money. Wait.
Yeah, or maybe haha, you're not in AKB, and she's like, oh no.
Oh,
I give you-
Haha, you
Hard.
can sing.
What?
What?
Kids these days, you
Yeah.
know, they're always making fun of people for no reason, right?
Not,
You
not
can
so
sing.
bright.
Nope.
But speaking of school, we had quite a bit of a school discussion going on. We have a lot of interesting things that were revealed to us by Sayu on a recent episode of Downtown DX.
Hey.
Pretty good talk, actually, if you get a chance to watch it. Don't watch the actual whole show, just watch the Sayu cut of it, because that saves you a lot of time of other boring talk that no one cares about. It also saves you from listening to Shoji scream Mikiti for like 5 hours.
That guy needs to get the fuck out already.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Sorry.
That's
That's
the
his
only
life,
thing he
you know?
does.
He's the Tom Cruise of Japan. He'll just start jumping on couches.
That's really painful to
think he-
imagine.
I
No.
think he has a very easy job. I mean, if your punchline is to just yell your wife's name,
Yeah, that's
man,
And you're
I
pretty
do it all the
bad.
time. I do it all the time.
and that counts as
Ali.
comedy. And,
Ali.
people laugh at that. I don't get it. Anyways, that's not that's besides the point. So so Sayu was saying, well, they asked her. It was rumored that they have a lot of harsh rules on for the girls of Morning Musume and idols in general, part of Hello Project. And so Sayu starts listing all these rules that apply to new members and how harsh it is. Now, if you guys have been following along with all the mini documentaries that they released over the years, it feels like it's considerably harder than in the past, but I don't think they've shared this level of detail before, so who knows. But at least, if you remember, they were on, what was that show? With Tomori? What's that show?
What?
What?
What's that show? Well, whatever it is, they were on some other variety show, and it was Reina who was kind of Sayu and Reina, actually, both of them were dishing out the similar set of rules, but this time magically, or I don't know if they changed it.
Oh,
or
is that
not.
morning show?
No, not the morning show. The
Oh.
one where they always have the guest, and there's like always a bunch of flowers, and they have the telephone corner.
That's like the lunch show, yeah.
I forgot what
Morning
it's called.
lunch show.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think
I forget what it's
you guys
called.
talked about it on. I think you guys talked about it on Konya before.
I think
so
we did
I
talk
know.
about it before. But
Yeah, we
anyway,
talked
Go
about it a
listen to
lot.
Konya.
yeah,
It's just that telephone show, so
yeah.
you guys will know what it is.
Anyways, so this particular episode now, she says, first things is, for all the new girls that come in, the manager pretty much dictates your life as a newcomer. She decides your hair, she decides what you can wear, and she decides... Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So she decides, like, one of the basic rules for all the newcomers is you can't wear mini skirts. The second rule is that you can't wear high heels. And then the third rule is that your hairstyle is determined by your manager. And all of these, basically, yes, Warati Tomo, thank you for that comment.
Thank you to our listener. Can't pronounce your name.
Try it.
Yeah, you have to attempt it because you're thinking.
Okay, there's that.
Alright, that's close enough. So,
Okay.
let's see. What was I saying? Oh, right. So the manager basically decides everything, and so this was pretty shocking to everyone because that's quite a lot of control over some little kid. And so they were asking, so how long does this last? And Sayu said, this pretty much lasts until the next girl comes in. So if you can imagine that period where they didn't have a lot of auditions, it must have really sucked for Aika.
Oh.
Because at that point they decide, when the new girl comes in, they're like, oh, you probably have figured out by now what you can and can't do, and then they kind of loosen the slack.
Wait,
and they
Aika
focus
had
on-
Jinjin to
Oh,
to back cover.
I wonder if that counts.
Obviously,
Or all three of them
Yes,
were
first forgot about
Yeah.
those two girls. Right?
Chinese, who cares?
Wow.
Well, and things are different then too. I mean, we're pretty sure, especially with like Sayu complaining about copying her hairstyle and things like that.
I'm pretty sure Esto didn't care.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
probably
the
busy
rule
eating cream.
application is kind of weird back then. So
Yeah, that's true. Next set of rules, they moved on to school because that's also a really important thing. And one of the things Sayu mentioned was, which was different from last time, is if you can't handle managing school and idle work at the same time, you have to quit. And that
Yeah.
kind of sounds like someone that is really unfortunate that it happened to, but...
What?
I don't think it has ever happened though.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Well,
never
that
mind.
this one particular rule reminds me of when Kumayurina and Tokunari Shinami was on this other variety
they
show.
showed their daily schedule.
Yeah, when they showed their
Oh.
daily schedule,
Yeah.
Kumaicho actually mentioned, not to this extent, but she mentioned that Hello Project really stress how they want their idols to focus in school
Right,
if they choose to,
very important.
or carry on that path of education. So I think this Sayu saying this aligns with the what previous comments from other Hello Project idols has mentioned on TV.
Right.
Okay, so there's some truth to this, I guess.
Right. The next thing that she said, which is something that we have heard before, is that you have to give your report card to the managers to check, and if you have any fails or not passing scores, you get a huge scolding and some bad things happen. And to follow up on that, you also have to attend your classes. So, I mean, it's really common for people to skip classes, even if you're not a celebrity or not working. Just regular students commonly skip classes. If you're part of the Hello Project group, you have to go to all your classes. And if the manager or a senpai finds out that you skip class, they will do something really bad to you. That's what Sayu says. So that's pretty interesting how strict they are about this whole school thing, or managing
They will
to
make you cut your hair.
yeah. Wow.
Oh, lamers.
That sucks.
That's what happened with Smilage.
They all failed school.
They all skipping classes.
They skip class, cut their hair.
They'll skip
Yeah.
one lesson.
Ouch. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It feels, I don't know about you guys, but to me it feels a lot more strict than it was before. Because you know that at least on that particular Warati Tomo, the unreleased footage that was aired at a later date, Reina was saying how she almost failed one particular semester. Like she almost got all Fs one time. And if she could stay in the group while accomplishing that, then I think some things have changed over time.
Right.
I don't know.
Or maybe,
But
I
she's the ace, so.
Well, or I don't know. I mean, like they made Yuka quit.
Oh,
That's Smilers.
Yeah, but Smiley,
Different managers.
But we're talking about group policies in general.
yeah. I don't know. Smiley was pretty big, and to I don't know, ruin that because of how they. I mean, on the one hand, if it's true, like that's nice standing for your principles, but that's pretty steadfast. No bending of the rules there. It's kind of crazy.
Maybe they're just trying to protect their image in the long run. I mean, you start letting them slack now, and who knows what
right.
kind of smoking or other things that they don't like.
Well, yeah. Well, Hollow Project's always been the positive image idol in
Right.
of the country. So
They really are the. You have to, be the perfect girl group.
yep. Not like some other groups out there where you get caught Friday, then your
You're still
company will
there
cover it up
in-
for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like you like insult major production companies, and then you get your own single the next week.
We.
Right. So, enough about that. Any last comments about anything school related? If not, let's move on to our final topic of the day, which is
Yay. The
Um,
most important one.
the most important one, because it is Reina related.
Woo!
Reina!
So, starting back at the end of 2012, around November, December-ish, she had some interesting blog posts, and it felt like she was really reaching out to the fans. The first couple of posts were saying, what was the first one? I remember the second one.
Summarize, man, summarize.
So the first one, she was saying how she was getting a lot of comments on her her blog, and it was saying, people were saying, oh, I really wish I can go up to a handshake session, but I'm always scared I don't know what to say, or I'm not going to have anything to say, and it's just going to be like awkward silence, and I don't want
Right.
to do that to you. And then Reina blogged, she had a full blog in response to all the people who commented that, saying, you know what, I don't even worry about that, just come. I appreciate any support, and if you just want to come to the handshake event, just stand there and just say thank you, then that's good enough for me. That's all I really care about. So don't put all this pressure on yourself thinking you have to, come up with a joke or do something to make me laugh or smile. Just to show your support, just be there, and I appreciate that much. And at the time, everyone was like, "Wow, Reina's such a good girl. That's amazing." I was so touched. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, I was thinking, "Wow, that was pretty cool." I never expected Reina to say something like that.
Yeah, it's
actually.
kind of out of character
That
for
is
her.
quite a bit. And then she follows it up with another blog post, and this was in regards to one of the handshake events recently where a lot of the otas had to wait outside, and that day happened to be really cold, and Reina was like, I feel really bad for you guys who waited since like 7 a.m. or some crazy time in the morning just to come to our handshake.
Yeah, she apologized to them and everything.
Right. She apologized on her blog post. She said she felt really bad for them, and she understands like the importance of how much this means to them, and so that reciprocates of how much this means to her. And then that was like another thing. That's like 2 in a row now. They're like, oh,
was
man.
that one recent?
That was
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
recent.
Month?
Yeah. That was either
Oh,
end
it-
of last month or beginning of this month.
I'm thinking that might be the day that snowed.
It could be.
Yeah, because
that was like
I think
3 weeks ago, right?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I forgot. Anyway.
Yeah, I forgot as well. But it was
The internet.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting post, and everyone was like, "Whoa, what's going on with Reina? Why is she so nice now?"
Why not?
Because she's about to get.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's graduating.
I guess that's why.
True,
All of a
true.
sudden, she's like this perfect girl who cares about.
Oh, I miss you
Aw.
guys.
She's,
Oh.
she's setting herself up for her M-line solo career.
Right.
Pass.
Yeah. And then so we come to this week where she makes a blog post, and so there was a handshake for Help Me, and apparently a fan came up to her and she said, and they were talking for a little bit, and then the fan said, "All right, well, I have nothing else left to talk about," and then he just kind of stood there. And then at the end of the time, he walked away. And then Reina blogged about this, immediately after, and she said, "What's up with guys who come up there and the only thing they say to me is, I have nothing to say." Like, that's pretty rude. Like, why? And then she titled this blog post, "A Waste of Time," and she's like, don't bother doing this if you're gonna waste my time and say, like, I don't have anything to talk about, just, like, whatever, that's stupid. And everyone was like, wait, what? This is totally opposite of what she was building up for the past couple of months. What?
This is Elena Allen.
This is, I know, like, this is the real Reina now. Like, what's going on here? What? So, I mean, what do you guys make of this?
Someone hacked her account previously.
Ghostwriter.
And posted nice things for her?
Oh, you mean the
I'm
manager?
gonna put your image now. Oh man.
I've got a feeling it was probably S for us.
I think if I had access to your account, I would post a lot more bad things about the Otos. and then it would seem like, oh yeah, Reina would say something like that.
And Elena would be like, someone hacked my account, but oh well, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I'm
Looks
not
legit.
even gonna say someone hacked my account. It's like, oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, looks legit.
It looks legit. Yeah.
Oh man.
But that's just. I mean, if you follow Reina, then that's pretty much how she is. She often, does that. She'll be nice. There are certain things she takes into consideration, and then something will just piss her off, and she'll be like, "What's up with this? Like, don't mess
It's
with
called
me."
mood swing.
Yeah.
It's what she does. Yeah.
It was like a bad Machan day for her or something. I don't know what it was.
Yes, maybe Maja was being annoying or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyways, this sparked a lot of discussion because this is a pretty drastic change from what they have seen for the past couple of months. And so this led to a lot of people, theory crafting about what's with the sudden change. And so one of the, I guess, most prominent theories out there that a lot of people seem to agree on is that this possibly could be Reina speaking out on behalf of her kohais, the younger 9th and 10th and 11th gen, because the fans obviously have less pressure, in acting properly to them because they're so young and not as veterans, so they don't know how to handle situations as good as Reina or Sayu yet, but so they may try to do like silly things. And then so this might be Reina speaking out or just like getting the attention on behalf of something that may have happened to the younger girls. What do you guys think about the probability of that?
Does Reina really care?
If it's
Well,
Maja,
supposedly
maybe.
lately she's been more compassionate about it, right? She's been buddy with them, so
She has been nicer to her kohais than in the past.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So, on the line of this theory, though, there have been rumors in the past that Reina has taken extravagant steps to protect her kohais whenever she doesn't agree with something management has done to them. I think most famously back when Koha was still, Kusumi Koharu was still in Morning Musume, there were a couple of rumors that she skipped out on rehearsals because of the way they were treating Koharu. And and then a couple of things like as well, a similar thing. So while it sounds kind of crazy, like she may not care, she might. I think depending on the person, she may care. I don't know. Any thoughts?
She cares about Machan.
Yeah.
I think she cares for them. It's just that Reina does things in a lot of different ways. Even the way that she does these post things. I mean, she's apologizing about them being out in the cold. That's not really something that she can control. So she's sympathizing with it, but at the same time, I don't think she wanted them to be that blunt. I mean, you're asking, she said you can come by, say hi. That's fine, but it's a different thing to be like, oh, I got nothing.
That's true.
I got nothing.
Yeah, that's slightly on the fault of the fans there, because that's I mean,
Yeah.
that's really not much to work with. We're just like, I think it's almost better if you just don't say anything and just shake your hand.
Yeah, if you
not
just shake
that
their
bad.
hand, they're fine.
It's not
just
hard
being
to say
retarded.
just thank you.
Yeah, or, yeah, even a thank you is probably fine. But I mean, the fact that they were just like, and I'm out, like, it's kind of just like throwing in the towel. And being
Like,
I
I'm
don't
done,
know
whatever.
what's going on anymore.
I'm just surprised
So
people
drop
have
the
time
microphone
to
and walk
actually-
away.
Surprised people have time to run out of things to say. You've only got a few seconds and that's it.
I think this was the extended handshake.
Oh, the solo handshake.
Yeah, the solo handshake.
Right. fair
Were
enough.
these all her fans?
Probably not. Do you want to clarify on that?
I think it was the event. The tickets were random, right?
Right. And so they kind of started this thing recently, which was really pissed fans off because it's just dumb. But when you buy,
Started with berries, didn't it?
right.
We're mentioning berries.
Yay!
Ha.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
They're going off in the corner.
There you go.
Right. So, so what they've been doing recently, and I hope they stop, but when you buy the CDs to get the tickets for the handshake, the tickets are random, and supposedly you're not supposed to trade them and blah blah blah, but
People still do, but
people still do.
yeah.
But if you don't, then you end up going to someone you're not really a fan of. And there I can kind of see how you might have nothing to say, but even then you shouldn't say if you don't have anything to say.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
you're frustrated at the situation, you let the management know. You get your frustration out to the management. You walk by the managers like, not to the girls. Like, I'm nothing, man.
I want to see you do that.
You should hold up
Nonchalantly,
protest
like
signs.
you're walking away from the girls and like you see the manager and you just start talking louder like, man, I wish I got that ticket I wanted.
Yeah. Or be like, man, Lena was really nice for someone that I didn't, I wasn't a fan of her. Man, if only the management would do something about that. And then go nudge him in the elbow or something.
But it's kind of silly though,
Punch
because
him in the face.
I mean, a lot of people, even though
Kick him with the
it's
ball.
randomized tickets, they still trade in front of the venue anyways.
Right.
Right.
And I'm not sure what the point of it is, other than to make the people who aren't as popular feel less bad. But
That's one thing, and then
that's still
they
gonna
make
happen.
they make the guys who can't trade all of their tickets or who can't trade at all or for whatever reason, they make the people buy more just to get
Right.
tickets
right,
they want for the girls that they want to handshake with.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I think,
it's-
yeah, from an
so-
open angle, it's more about getting them to buy more copies than anything else. I don't think they care about
Yeah.
the trading or that, the outside economy as much as, oh, look, now, if you can't find that ticket because the trade economy is bad, that's not our fault. Go buy another copy.
Exactly. Yeah.
That
So-
does kind of suck. I mean, they already have like 7 or 8 sections now for handshakes.
Right.
It's crazy nowadays. I don't know, man.
They're turning into those kind of idols that for you only go touch. What do they call those? Touching idols?
Yes, they are turning into the touching idols.
Yeah.
They need to turn into running idols.
Yes, I would approve of that.
Well, I mean, it's the fact that they're trying to kind of not acknowledge that the outside economy exists for it. I think that's part of the problem. I mean, you're talking about, you go to one of those shops and then you see how much it costs to get, a ticket for Zuki compared to a ticket for
Yeah,
Reina, and
The
they
thing
don't
is,
care about it.
well, the thing is, it's not supposed to exist anyways. Those outside economy,
Right.
with all the trading and all that.
Yeah, but that does manipulate how the system works. It's the fact that it happens. I think that's what.
Oh
makes
yeah,
it
it comes
worse.
back. It goes around. But then that's how the company is selfish and thinking, oh, we get profit. Yeah, okay, that's it. But then it also makes the idols themselves unhappy when the fans that are not fans of their own fans. They're fan of the group or the fan of the company or Hello Project in general, but they're not particular fans of, say, this girl. But I'm stuck with a ticket. But I already bought the CD for. What am I gonna do?
Right.
Throw it away? Throw it in the trash? I might as well go around, but then I'm not gonna be as happy as, say, shaking hands with my Oshi man.
Right.
Right.
But I feel like if you got a Lena ticket, you'd probably be able to trade for something. Unless this guy was like, alright, well, I read that on the blog, so I think I would be funny. And I would go up to her and say, I got nothing to say. Which indicates he is just completely retarded.
There are people like that, so.
That is
There-
pretty
yeah.
dumb. So
There are people like that, though.
let's
Yeah,
hope that's
yeah,
not
there are
the
a
case.
lot of people like that.
No, the world that we live in, this is not unnormal.
Yeah. Well, if you listeners have any thoughts you want to share about that, please drop it down in the comment section below or anywhere on our forum if you want to continue this discussion. But with that, let's move on to our very famous Sanrio Listener Mail Corner.
Wow.
Yay!
I didn't realize that it became Sanrio's Corner. Awesome! Congratulations on the upgrade.
He's got
Wow.
a promotion.
It's always been my corner. You just gotta listen. I realized it's been like, I haven't been on the show since episode 43, so it's been 6 weeks. Well, weeks in quotes. 6 shows. Alright, but this is actually a listener mail that we got from a long time ago. You guys mentioned one part, but there was a PS part that was aimed at Ouroboros when he was in Japan. So, well, Ouroboros, I hope you're ready, because this person is calling you out.
Okay.
I hope you're ready. Are you ready? Alright, you are ready. This is from Davey. You know, he writes in once in a while. In one of his most recent emails, he had a PS. He says, PS, I've been reading some stuff on your forums, and I saw Ouroboros comment about Suki's weight. It's just a little funny, because I think his favorite HP member is from a different group, has the same image color, and similar problem with weight. he has
Whoa!
he has 1 minute to discuss this. So,
was fighting.
Ouroboros, you have 1 minute to discuss the weight of this particular HP member, who is also your favorite. So, 1 minute,
Obviously,
and
it's Karin. But
Obviously, yeah.
Kali-sama.
she has
Well,
a weight
same
yeah,
image
problem.
color.
I can see
Same
where,
image.
like, I can see why is he trying to say,
Yeah.
why do I pick on Zuki because of her weight? Yeah, I don't pick on Chisa because of her weight. And
Right.
the thing is that there's a difference between an Oceanman and a non-Oceanman. An Oceanman can do nothing wrong. Doesn't matter whether she's big, whether she's small, whether she's ugly, whether she's beautiful, whether she can sing or not. She's me Oceanman, so of course she's perfect. I don't need a minute.
That is,
Yeah,
that is
that's
the perfect answer.
20
That
seconds.
was like mic drop, walk away.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
finish.
basically the
But
answer's
Suki's the
false.
fattest member out there.
But yeah,
Alright, so
but the thing is that Chisa has gone. She has in the past gone pretty big, but nowhere on the same level as Zuki has in the past.
Oh,
If-
I'll help you
The
put
point
it
that
in words.
Zuki's so aware of it now herself
Uh-huh.
that she's been talking about trying to sort it out this year. I mean, Chisa did that as well, but
But it took Zuki a lot longer to like make that public. The fact that she's working on it, and Chisa like she talks about it
all the
almost
time.
regularly. Yeah, and she puts. You can see the effort that she puts in because like before photo books, she drops down a lot.
Hmm.
So that's. I mean, you have to respect Chisa for the effort that puts in, and it must be a hard battle. Zuki, I don't get the impression that she's trying that hard yet.
To be honest,
also from
I hope
all
she
the
does.
things she-
Well, I hope so too.
Because Zuki could be. She could be pretty cute if she lost a few pounds.
Eh.
Only pretty
I think
cute.
we've had this conversation before.
We have a million times. But then again, if somebody pokes me about it, I'll poke them back.
Right. Well, this is just a quick listener question, and he also says PPS, no hard feelings against Ouroboros. So it was just a topic
None.
of fun.
Yeah.
Well, a topic that he was wondering, I guess.
Well,
But yeah,
it's,
there is a difference between. Yeah, what was it you were about to say?
sorry, traffic going past again. That's the trouble with having the studio so big, you can't even hear the traffic at your end.
Yeah. We need to buy a door.
But, it seems like when all the cobwebs came in and made this place all messed up, they left a hole in the wall that cars seem to be able to.
That's right. Now, I'm going to be moving into the closet in the next few weeks, so the broom cupboard. So you can't hear the traffic from there.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for the answer, and thanks for the email to Davey. Keep your emails coming. Just send whatever to samuel@takamario.net. There's also one more email that I would like to bring up. This could be our first sponsor email ever.
Oh, awesome.
And it's crazy. Yeah, it's news to all of us here, I guess. I'm not gonna mention the place name, but I'll just read the email because we are in touch with them right now as we're talking. And it says subject: Dear Sir / Ma'am. Oh, sorry, Madam. Sorry. And here is what's in there. Dear Sir / Madam, we are happy to know you on internet. We are interested in your product. Please send me more pictures and quote me the price of your product. As a new customer, we also would like a high quality and competitive price. We are looking forward to your early reply. Best regard. There's the name, I black out because that's the person who we are in touch with right now. Sales and marketing manager. And there's the store. So, I'm not sure what product he's mentioning, or
He's
what price.
clearly
Whatever.
talking about our Konya Takamaru t-shirts that we sell.
Ah, man,
That comes
That-
with the 2L pictures
of Turbo
of
86.
Turbos 86, yes.
Right. Oh man. Okay. In that case, all right. We need to take pictures of Turbo 86 modeling the t-shirts and now send him the quote and the price.
Well, we'll release a YouTube video about it, like UF Online.
All right. All right. So
Just one of those teaser videos.
Yeah.
So look forward to our t-shirt promotion video on our channel. Speaking of following us on our channel, I will send it to Inviz right now because that's it for emails, and he can wrap the show up.
Okay, let's go over everything that's been going on for the past couple of weeks, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. That's episode 49. We've been doing 49 episodes of this.
Man.
If you've been listening to us on iTunes or on YouTube on our user Konya TKMR, you can also go ahead and check out our website. That's takamario.net, where we try to keep track of things that you guys can take a part in and give you nice pictures to make you feel better. As always, we're looking for suggestions, so if you go to our website, you can see we have a link to where you can suggest your own Takamata pick or that boosting pick for the week, as well as links to our forum and all of the other interesting things that you can see. This week, we've been back in the grind since the New Year's came around, so we've got Takamata Mondays, where you get to summarize everything that's happened the past week, as well as Radio Fridays, where our own S. Ferris summarizes some of the greatest things you might have heard but never understood. on radio.
Yay!
Yay! As always, we do have other shows for you to watch, which you can find on our YouTube channel, such as Hatana, which is where we take all the rumors and the funny stuff that you can find on the internet. Talk about that. And apparently, we've got a new show, Sun Real Time, which Sun Real does things.
Okay,
It's only been
since
one
you don't
episode.
know what it is.
It'll
Since you
evolve.
don't know what it is about, I can give it just a brief
No.
discussion. Basically, no, shut up. Basically, it's a more lighthearted version of a podcast where we just talk about whatever we want. So it's not nearly as structured as Konya TKMR, but it's more relaxing and it's more fun based. It's more just trying to be entertaining for the sake of entertaining and just for the sake of us having fun talking on the show. So go listen to that. You can find it on our YouTube channel right now. And back
And I
to you.
suppose since it's not live, there's slightly more post-processing, so interesting things might happen in the future. Keep an eye out for that. As always, if you guys like what we do but think we don't do it enough, you can go ahead and give us suggestions on our forum, forum.takamario.net, where you can also discuss anything that we've talked about in the shows, in our articles, or even if you've heard something stupid that we might have said somewhere else. So feel free to go there and visit, as well as if you need the latest news before any of us can do any podcasting about it, we do have a Twitter, which is also TKMR. Following that will allow you to get up-to-the-minute news whenever we get it, hopefully translated into English, but you get the latest things. You don't don't always have to wait for us to come together in this dusty old studio. That said, hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode. Again, comments, ratings. I don't even think we have iTunes ratings yet, unfortunately.
Still not yet, but we're waiting for that first rating. Anytime now, it's gonna happen.
Yes, so if you guys want to give us ratings, we won't know how well we're doing or what we need to do until you guys tell us. Till then, we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Works.
Yeah, works. Okay, so hopefully we'll see you guys next time. This was episode 49, and this was also January 19th, which technically is still the 10th year anniversary of 6th Gen if you would include time difference.
Yay.
Yeah. Everybody celebrate that. Sayu.
Make a shrine.
Make your shines, bake your cakes, get lots of 2-shots, right?
Yep.
Okay. So for everybody here, for S. Ferris, for Turbos86, for Bex, for Ouroboros, and apparently our new amateur meteorologist, Sanrio, this was Invis.
What?
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
See you next time, whatever that may be.